witches, blessed be. I'm doing this video about mirror magic because someone left a comment on one of my videos, one of my last couple videos, asking could I cover mirror magic because they were talking about how they saw the mirrors in the background of my videos all the time. So first I do want to say that I do a lot of mirror magic, okay? That's why you see the mirrors. It's a big part of my practice. I guess I'm just going to dive right into this. And I don't think I'm going to have any kind of structure to this video, so this is just one witch talking about mirror magic with all of you, okay? So, hang on a second. Okay. I tie in and associate mirror magic very much with the water element, okay? I'm a hereditary witch, and I learned from my mother about using mirrors in our practice, which she told me that as far as when it comes to magic mirrors, you always want to have that on your western wall, okay? And that's because it's associated with the water element. Mirrors are portals, okay? Just like the water element. Y'all go and watch my past video about the water element, actually, as a prerequisite to this video, and understand everything of what I was saying in that video about how the water element is a portal. It has to do with relationship, interaction, and connection with things, okay? Mirrors are a tool I would associate with the water element. They are portals. They are about connection, connectivity, interaction, relationship between the witch and any other people, any spirits, any forces, anything that we want to work with. Mirrors are a medium and a portal through which we can accomplish that. So there's like a million different ways that you can use mirrors in your practice. Mirrors are good for scrying and divination, and not just mirrors either, okay? Anything that has a reflective quality, just like a piece of glass that's reflecting. The blank TV screen, okay? I've actually, I know a lot of people, not who are witches or anything like that, but they have told me that they see things in a TV screen when the TV's off and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, you don't know this, but you're scrying, okay? That's a black mirror is a very powerful tool for scrying, okay? So anything that's reflective, a crystal, mediums and stuff utilize crystal balls and just crystals in general. Original black mirrors were made out of different black crystals and stones. So it could be anything that's reflective, okay? Anything at all that has a reflective surface, I think would fall under the category of mirror magic, or if you're using it for those purposes or whatever. Now, there's a funny story about that mirror back there, which I'll just tell y'all real quick because it's interesting. That mirror was, where did I get that mirror from? It was a gift from my mom when I first began getting into the craft and more of spirit work when it comes to magic. She actually gifted me that. And I used it to communicate with different spirits through scrying and divination, necromancy, mediumship, and stuff like that. And I actually started seeing, when I wasn't working with it anymore, when I wouldn't be working with it intentionally, I would still see this specific female spirit in there. And it kind of bothered me, so I took the mirror down, because I just had it always up like how it is now in my room. I had it just always up at this time period. And I actually took the mirror down and stuck it under my bed for the longest time, like face down. And then came a time I actually gifted that mirror to my cousin for a time period. I forget actually if I gifted it to my cousin or my little brother for a duration of time, because I think I gifted it to my little brother because he actually was one of the people that I was talking about that was scrying in like a blank TV screen, like when the TV's off and it's just like a black reflection or whatever. And so I wanted to help him to learn how to control that ability. So I gifted him this mirror that I had enchanted with all kinds of spell work to amplify that and bring it under control. And he ended up putting it under his bed, because I guess he was seeing things in there that when he wasn't intending and stuff too. And after that, he moved it into the garage for a time period. And if y'all can see on there where the mirror is like black on like the edge right there, or in my past videos, if you can see that, that happened like somehow when the mirror was in a garage, just like sitting in there for several months. And it just started turning black somehow. I thought that was really peculiar, because scrying mirrors are usually a black mirror, and this mirror turned itself black, or started to. When I saw the mirror was doing that, I ended up taking it back because I didn't want it to just be dormant in the house where it was, in that garage there, because no one in that household practiced witchcraft or anything like that. So basically, suffice to say that there's spirits that use that mirror as a portal because of the spell work that I did with it, and possibly because of the work that my mom did with it before she gifted it to me. And it's better to be in the hands of a witch, kind of monitoring it and controlling that. So I took it back, and now I still use it. But my point with telling and sharing the story was to let you all know that if you do consecrate a mirror for magic, for divination, mediumship, anything mystical or magical at all, there is some maintenance things to understand with that. A lot of witches will keep their consecrated mirrors covered when it's not in use, okay? And there's a reason for that. Is because the mirror is a portal. Any mirror is a portal, kind of dormantly, inherently, but especially once you have worked with it and consecrated it and different things like that, it becomes even more active, okay? So that could extend to when you're not even using it intentionally, okay? So you do might want to consider keeping your consecrated magic mirrors covered or put away when they're not in use. I don't. Still to this day, I just keep it uncovered like that. The mirror, right, this main mirror here, that's actually on my altar. I keep it uncovered all the time. I have lots of little just like little small size mirrors that I would use. And they're all portals. They're all magical devices that I use for different reasons and purposes. Now this one here, which is like my main one on my main altar, is consecrated as a portal for the spirits that I work with, specifically, namely Hecate, ancestors, some different familiars and thought forms that I created to serve me and do tasks and stuff like that too. And I also use it for scrying and different things like that all the time. Okay, so to go more in depth about the fact that mirrors are portals. Hold on, no. So you can really use them to do some different things. You could use them to scry, which is like divination from your own psychic mind. You could use them to conjure spirits up and communicate with them because it is a portal, like I said. Whether if you're using it for scrying with your own psychic senses, you're still using it as a portal. Whether if you're using it to communicate with spirits and different beings, you're using it as a portal. You can use your mirrors for astral projection. You can use it for remote viewing, which basically is scrying if you think about it. You can use mirrors for spell work, like kind of what mirrors do is they amplify things. Okay, so that's another way to look at it, as the fact that mirrors are portals. They're also amplifying your intentions and your magic. So when we use it as a tool for psychic perception, the mirrors are amplifying our psychic powers, okay? It can also amplify spell work because what mirrors do, they reflect things, okay? So if you think about it, it's duplicating whatever it is that it's reflecting. So if you do your spells on top of a mirror, like a lot of times what I'll do is I'll have like the small hand-sized mirrors and I'll like burn my spell candles on top of it and stuff like that. Like for instance, I would set a mirror here, burn a candle on it, and at the same time the main mirror in the back is there as well, and things like that. Okay, so it's just amplifying and multiplying your spell work. Okay, so that's another way to look at it. What else? They could be used for protection magic as well in that reflective aspect. Mirrors are kind of like a type of a shield, okay? Because what they do is they can help you to reflect back any negative or evil or malicious or harmful energy that's directed at you, okay? Also, too, in that aspect, mirrors can also be used as traps. Excuse me. You can trap negative energy in there. You can trap negative spirits in there, different spirits and things like that. You can actually trap them in a mirror because it's a portal. And as a witch, you can control that doorway, so to speak, of whether to open or close it. You can put spirits into mirrors and trap them in there. if you want to look at it as like a protection device, or also too, you can bind positive spirits into your mirrors to use for beneficial reasons. And I wouldn't necessarily call that trapping the spirit in there, because it's not a negative thing. You're actually just housing positive spirits in mirrors too, okay? Now, this is another important thing to point out with this too, that just came to mind as well. There's this old belief that when someone passes away in a house, you need to cover all the mirrors there because their soul can get trapped in the mirror. And there's reasons why of that. It's because, once again, mirrors are doorways, they're portals. And especially when you're dreaming, a mirror has different qualities than when you are awake, so to speak. Like, for instance, sometimes in dreams, you will actually be able to like go through a mirror as a doorway and stuff like that. And what my point is with that is that when someone dies, their astral body is permanently detached from their physical body. So it's very much like the dream world, and they might accidentally go in that mirror not understanding what they're doing, and then they become trapped in a different like pocket dimension from like where they're truly supposed to go and stuff like that. So that's just another important thing to throw into this video when it comes to mirrors and how they relate to the occult. And the importance of kind of covering them up when they're not in use, as far as if they're not under the maintenance and care and observation of a powerful witch that's like controlling the energies with it, okay? Let me think for a minute. What else can mirrors be used for? They're also very powerful for glamour magic and illusion magic, okay? So this is another type of protection, because you can use glamour and illusion to protect yourself if there's certain enemies or just whatever that you're dealing with, negative energy, negative influence that's against you. You can use mirror magic to cast illusion spells that will make those enemies think that either their stuff's working on you, or that what was I gonna say? In the sense of like glamour, you can mirror your enemies so that they don't see you as an enemy anymore and stuff like that too, okay? And so that's another use of it. You can also use mirrors to just cast other types of glamour spells and illusion spells to where you can just get someone to perceive you in the way that you want them to, okay? So that's another thing. And so that has more than just protective uses. You can also use that for just bewitching somebody, okay? And I don't judge magic, so when I'm just teaching this, it's like, use it however you want, okay? Whether if you want to use it for whatever your purposes are, okay? I don't judge people or how they use magic or whatever. But I do like to teach all the different ways that you can use it, because you never know when you might need certain like tricks up your sleeve, you know? So just thought I would throw that in there as well. Let's see what else to do with mirror magic. It just really has strong associations with the spirit world, okay? That's just another huge part of mirror magic. I love to include mirrors on my altars because they are doorways. So are candles. The fire is a portal. Water, like I said, anything with a reflective type surface. Mirror magic is closely associated with lunar magic because, once again, the moon is reflecting the light of the sun, okay? And it has different phases, so it's changeable, okay? So that kind of also falls in with the illusion magic and glamour magic that mirror magic can do. What else? I didn't take notes before this video, so once again, I'm just saying whatever comes to mind right now. I did think about it for like a day before I started doing this video, but trying to think of anything else that comes to mind with it. Now that we've covered kind of what mirror magic is and what it can do, I'm just going to get more into practical different things that you can do with it. You can bewitch mirrors in someone else's house to use as a portal for you. For once again, for example, if you have an enemy, if you have someone that you want to spy on for whatever reasons, or just monitor, or if you just want to kind of stay connected with other witches or other just friends or family members long distance and keep an eye on them, or just stay connected with them, you can actually bewitch mirrors with your magical signature in other people's houses or in other places, and use that as a portal for you to use when you astral project, when you use your own mirrors and stuff like that. So that's another thing to consider. Once again, with the aspect of using mirror magic to cast glamours and illusions on yourself, you can do that for beauty spells, like what the modern use of the word glamour is. You can use it to beautify yourself. But once again, you can also just use that to make people perceive you in any way. You can make yourself look scary to certain people and stuff like that. Like, there's no limit on it. It's really a really bewitching type of magic, okay, an enchanting type of magic that you can do with mirrors. What else? I know that there's more. You could use it for healing, because once again, it's associated with the water element. So you can use mirror magic for healing and things like that. For instance, you could just stare at your reflection. If you're sick or something, you could stare at your reflection in an enchanted mirror and use it as a means of healing yourself, of seeing yourself healthy. Why mirrors are so useful in magic, and why just any reflective surface, whether if it's crystals, whatever, is so useful in magic, is because, once again, it amplifies your own psychic and magical power. Okay, so not everyone has a very strong imagination or visualization skills, so the mirror can be used as a tool to help you get there, so to speak, with your magic, with your mind, with your creative visualizations and stuff like that. It might be easier for you to look at your reflection in the mirror, and then with what's already there, you can then start to visualize what you want. That might be easier for you to do than for you to just completely, with your own mind, visualize yourself and what you want and stuff like that. So I hope that makes sense to y'all, of the different use or whatever, how it amplifies things. A lot of witches say that the the black mirror, the black mirror is the magical tool or whatever, but really I think it's just any reflective surface, any mirror can be used very powerfully for magic of any kind, of the things I just discussed in this video. What else was there? There was something else I was going to say. You can use it once again to amplify your own psychic powers. So what you can do with mirror magic is you can use it to communicate with other living people. Okay, you can send visions to them or influence their thoughts. And once again, that has two different ways you can use it. You can use it just like openly, in a positive way. You can use it in a manipulative, secretive, cunning way, okay? So there's another thing that you can do with it. You can just send telepathic communications and stuff like that. It's just a very powerful medium to use for like unlimited things that you can use it for when it comes to your magic. How you do it is as far as like the psychic part of it, how it amplifies your psychic powers and stuff like that. It helps you tap into them, so to speak, and then amplifies it as well. So how you're going to do that is you just gaze into the mirror, and once again, this could be any reflective surface. You gaze into it, and not necessarily, you're not going to have to be so focused on your physical eyesight gazing into it. But you know how everyone has daydreamed before, where you're just like staring at something and you start to have a daydream and you're not actually focused on what you're staring at, but your inner eye opens kind of because you are unconsciously staring, and it opens up your inner eye and you begin to have a daydream. Okay, that is what you're doing in a controlled way when you're using mirror magic for the psychic part of it, for scrying, for just opening it as a portal in general, for any kind of magic, whether if you're gathering information from it or whether if you're projecting intentions to people or to whatever through the mirror, just opening it as a portal in general. That's what you're doing. You're activating that, your third eye, which is then amplified through the mirror, okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to like stare at the mirror. You need to be in a dimly lit room, okay? Because having too much light will want to keep your eyes, your physical eyes focused and stuff like that on the physical aspect of all this. And now, once again, I don't know what level you're at in your practice and stuff, so maybe not everyone will have issues if they try to use mirror magic with the lights on, but for the most part, you're going to want to just have like a dimly lit room, have some candles lit, maybe even just one candle, and then aside from that, just be staring into the mirror. And kind of the easiest way to do it. Now, once again, everyone's different, so don't just take this as the absolute way. But this is just like a suggestion in general for everyone that's watching, because once again, I don't know where everyone's at in their practice and how psychic you are yet and stuff like that, and how disciplined you are at using your psychic senses. But I assume that there's a lot of beginners watching me. So just be in a dimly lit room. Basically start off by just staring at your own reflection at your, specifically at your eyes, or just at your third eye and your forehead, and just try to keep your vision focused in that exact one spot, okay? That's important when you're beginning it, once again. And as you do that, as you stay focused on it, once again, don't be so worried about the physical use of your eyes in an analytical, logical way, okay? Try to just consciously try to bring up that feeling of daydreaming. Once again, I'm sure everyone has done that at some point in their life, daydreamed, where you're just staring unconsciously at something and it activates your third eye, whatever. So try to bring that to the surface, and while you're staring at a specific point on the mirror. Now, it doesn't have to be your eyes or your third eye. You can stare anywhere in the mirror, but that is one of the easiest places to look at, is your eyes, or like right here in the center of your forehead or whatever, especially if you're trying to contact spirit or see your own past lives or stuff like that. What happens is that if you do this right, the mirror will begin, or whatever, once again, whatever reflective surface will begin to have like a fog or a mist, or just a blurry, like your vision will just blur to an extent. And then a lot of people don't make it past this part but it's hard for beginners to get past this part, because as soon as the vision starts to blur and the mist comes or whatever, they might want to snap themselves out of it by becoming logical again and becoming analytical of what they're experiencing, and that's going to shut down the psychic power. Psychic power is a very receptive state of mind, okay? It's not analytical. It's not logical and stuff like that. It's just receptive. It's just perceptive, okay? So when you get to that part, just don't try to analyze it, okay? Just let it happen. Let it keep happening. And after a while, that fog or mist or the blurry vision will dissipate and become focused and clear again, but things will change. You will start to see visions. Your form, your reflection will transform into something else, or will have already while that mist was occurring. And then when it clears up, it will just be a different person or a different spirit or whatever. What you can do to help yourself with this process is chant something or keep repeating an intention over and over again. That way you don't become logical and analytical. It's kind of like a trick to use on yourself. So kind of with the story of, what is it? With Snow White, how the queen uses the mirror, her magic mirror, and she says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall." Whatever that chant is that she said, that is actually, she was using mirror magic. She was using mirror scrying and communicating with the spirit in the mirror. And really vocalizing your intention helps you to stay in the right mindset of being receptive, because when you ask for something, you expect an answer and a response. And you're not that analytical about it or that judgmental, etc. So I hope that makes sense, y'all. But so what you can do when it comes to scrying, specifically if you're trying to get some kind of information or guidance, or see some kind of a future event or whatever, keep repeating that intention. You can make it into a rhyming chant so that it's just kind of smooth and easy to keep saying it over and over again. Or you can just say it like how you're talking regularly with whatever, and just keep saying your intentions or whatever, what have you. And that can really help. Now, another thing that I should point out too is don't be so focused on your physical eyesight, okay? What you are doing is using the mirror to activate your own third eye, your own psychic senses, and amplify it, okay? So it's not really bound to your physical perception and to the physical reflections that you see in the mirror or what you see with your physical eyes. What you are trying to do, the goal is to get your third eye to open, and then projecting that onto the mirror, it becomes a doorway and it becomes amplified. So I hope I'm making sense I hope y'all understand what I'm saying when I'm saying this about how it's about using or accessing your own psychic power or whatever and amplifying it. So basically, once you get into that state, I don't know, once again, I do not know who all is watching these videos. I don't know where you're at in your practice, but psychic sight is not with your physical eyes anyways. It's with your third eye. So what that is your imagination, your creative visualization, your that faculty within you of visualizing things, okay? Now we all have that in us, okay? That's part of all of us. The thing is, it gets shut down in a lot of people from when you're young. You just get indoctrinated to just have it shut down, okay? Or there might be, especially when you're young and you're psychic, it's not controllable. So a lot of times, evil shit will be seen by you and perceived by you, and you will end up fearing your own power because you're not able to control and discern what you allow near you. You don't have the authority yet as a child to really, or I should say, you don't understand your authority yet when you're a child. So a lot of times you'll just see evil stuff and the good stuff all mixed together, and it's very chaotic, and so you'll become fearful of your own power. You'll shut it down over time. People will tell you to shut it down over time, etc. But what it is the fact of your third eye needs to be reopened. And actually someone commented that on, I think, my last video. Someone commented about that they were clairvoyant and stuff like that, but that they shut down their ability because it scared them, because of experiences they have. And that's normal. But the thing is that once you do become older and you do recognize your own authority to control these gifts, you can reopen it and become more, and just be more discerning of what you do perceive or you don't, okay? So when you're using your third eye, it is about your imagination, your creative visualization, but it takes on its own life, okay? The same way as when you're dreaming, you're not consciously controlling the dream. You're just kind of experiencing it. That is your third eye creating an entire dream, okay? And it's not in your conscious control. Now, obviously, you can lucid dream and you can astral project, and you can do these things consciously too, okay? In which those are psychic powers. And that's using it using your third eye on purpose, okay? So when it comes to the mirror scrying and using the mirrors and stuff like that, what you're trying to do is activate your third eye. So you're trying to open up that imagination, that creative visualization, perception, okay? And then at the same time, you're trying to lose control of it a little bit so that you can let it work for you, okay? I hope this is making sense to y'all. So it is kind of scary, especially if you're a beginner. Once it starts to open, and once you start to see that mist or the blurriness take over or whatever, it might scare you because you are actually giving up control to a degree. Because once again, any psychic power is about being receptive, and so that means that you're not trying to control it. You're just perceiving. You're allowing it to happen. Okay. So you have to be willing to do that if you want to progress anywhere with this type of magic. You have to be willing to just allow it to happen, okay? And then once again, too, there really are spirits and stuff like that. So it's not just like your own mind communicating to you, okay? What it actually is your own third eye opens and it just literally sees the things that are there, okay? The different spiritual realities that are there. Now, once again, you can control this, okay? So that's another thing that I was pointing out with the chanting or vocalizing your intention. You do have the authority to control what you perceive with your third eye. So by vocalizing it, by chanting over and over again, whatever your intention is, you're kind of making sure that, one, you don't have to be scared of your own psychic sense opening, and two, that what you do perceive is in alignment with your will and intention, okay? So I thought I should just break that down for you guys as well in this video. And the fact of with the control or whatever, you are controlling your experience by what you ask for, okay? That is your exertion of controlling the experience, but you're not controlling what you see. That is going to be the spiritual realities that are a response to what you did ask for, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you too. It's just like when you're talking with a person, in so much as what you control what they respond to you. Like if I asked you for advice with something, to an extent, I'm controlling what you then give back to me, because you're going to give me back specifics of advice of that topic, okay? So I'm not really controlling you when I ask you a question, but that process, that interaction is more focused, if that makes sense. And in a manner, it is controlled. So this is the same thing that you're doing when you're doing mirror scrying, mirror divination, or magic like that with the mirror to talk with spirits and stuff like that. You are engaging in a communication type interaction, okay? So whatever you ask for, that's your exertion of control, but you do have to be willing to receive whatever comes back to you in response, and just trust that it is going to be in alignment with what you're asking for, okay? So I hope this really helps you guys, especially the person that asked about mirror magic. And really getting into that state that I was just now talking about is kind of the foundation to doing any other kind of magic with mirrors too, okay? So I should put that in there as well. Because when you're in that state, it's not just for, once again, it's not just for communicating with spirit. You can also send things through the mirror. So either way, you still have to get in that state of perceiving the mirror from your third eye and not from your physical eyes. So that's very important to all of this. And yeah, nothing else is really coming to mind, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video now. Let me know if you have any questions or whatever. Just comment with your input. Any other witches out there that are watching this, if you have anything else to add, or you just want to share your experience with mirrors, please do it and like tag me or something, or let me know about your video, because I'm very interested in this kind of magic. It's like I just was telling you at the beginning of this video, I use this kind of magic a lot in my practice. So I would really like to also learn from other witches, like what kind of things do you do with it? So I hope this video helps you guys, and I hope that you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments also below if you have any requests for videos that you want covered, okay? Hail to the witches, hail Hecate, and blessed be.